Good morning. We welcome you here to our Weber County Commission meeting. Today is the 13th of April, 2021. We welcome those of you who have joined us here in the galley. We're glad you're here. We also welcome those of you who are online now and those of you who will be online later. Glad to have you here. Our Pledge of Allegiance today will be led by our Ogden Eccles Conference Center General Manager, Cassie Bybee. Following Miss Bybee, if you can come to the lectern, Miss Bybee. Following Miss Bybee, our invocation will be given by Plain City's own Commissioner Scott Jenkins, and our thought of the day will be given by Commissioner Gage Frohr. Cassie?
Will you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee this fine day, we give You thanks for all the blessings we have in our lives. We're grateful for spring and the seasons and the fact that we could experience the joys that come with it. We pray, Lord, this day that Thy Spirit will attend us, that the things that are said and done here will be in accordance with Thy holy mind and will, and that we as representatives of the people will function with integrity, and we will do the proper things to make sure that this Weber County Commission functions united as a group and efficient as a group. We give You thanks for all the blessings we have, and we ask Thy blessings to be with our families and those who are visiting today, and we say in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
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 Commissioner Frohr.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, if you remember, a week ago today, we passed a resolution in this body supporting the Second Amendment, the right to carry arms for the people of Weber County, and I think very clearly stated in that resolution that the purpose behind that was that in the event that a legislative body of the state or federal nature was to make any effort to take away those rights of the Second Amendment, the right to bear and carry arms, that we would not allocate any public funds from Weber County in support of that. And I believe we also had the support of our Weber County Sheriff that agreed with that the fundamental right of the Second Amendment was just that, the right to bear arms. Since that time, we've received, and I think you have as well, commissioners, as well as I, a number of emails supporting that decision. I've received a number of emails and phone calls asking us what we were thinking by that amendment, or by that resolution, excuse me. I actually talked to a constituent yesterday, happened to be 94-year-old, very nice lady that questioned me on the wisdom of that resolution and asked if in fact we were not encouraging by that resolution additional acts of violence that unfortunately we've seen the past couple of weeks, unfortunately, with violence and people using guns, taking lives in both our state and outside the state. And my comment to her was this, that supporting the Second Amendment, the resolution, in my opinion, is totally different than what we see happening with the violence, that one does not necessarily lead to the other, that we can accomplish both if we put our minds to it. And I'm fully in support of additional information as we look forward to gun registration or people being able to use these and have access to these guns that are creating these crimes. But quite frankly, she said, well, would you go public with that? I said, I'm glad to. So speaking for myself, I'm glad to go public and say that I obviously support the resolution, but that I support any provisions that would limit the ability for certain people to have access to guns to commit these crimes. I'll end up by saying, Commissioner Chair Harvey, as my grandpa used to say, that when guns are outlawed, the only ones that will have guns will be outlaws. So I support that.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Appreciate that.
That's I meant to keep that a little briefer, but anyway.
You did great. And Commissioner Jenkins, thanks for your prayer this morning. Commissioners, I've been sitting in these commission meetings now for nearly 28 years. For 28 years, when the public has had the privilege of coming and addressing the commission, we've always asked that they come to the mic, state their name and their address. Commissioners, I would propose that we no longer ask them to share their address, but merely their city. The county has practiced the sharing of addresses so that we can take notes. So our recorder takes notes, and our clerk auditor takes notes, and it's helped them. But we now with the technology, we only need the city, and so I would propose that from now on, in working with Ricky Hatch in that office and Fatima, that we just ask people when they come to present comments to the commission that they only present their city. So either one of you have any issues with that?
I think that makes perfect sense.
Commissioner Jenkins, you okay with that?
I'm okay.
Great. Super. Well, that brings us to our public comment section. E-echo on our agenda today. If there are those in the audience that wish to address the commission, we ask you keep your comments brief to 3 minutes. And you can do that now. And then Shelley, I'll ask to go online after.
First. This takes the pressure off everyone else. All right.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
You
All
state
right.
your name and your city.
Okay, so Carolyn Lee Tuveninkis, North Ogden. Thank you. Commissioners, good morning. Thank you for finalizing the Second Amendment Sanctuary County resolution last week. With all that was going on, I forgot to thank you guys for that, but you probably saw my little notes online that I sent you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But now that you do see what's going on nationally with the multiple back-to-back shooting events, there are actors out there laying a foundation to cancel the Second Amendment, and it's going to be the responsibility of the states to hold the line on illegal orders. Masking. Salt Lake County is still refusing to remove their illegal mask mandate, even in light of mounting evidence that masks are not effective and that herd immunity is much more effective method of protecting the people long-term and with the least amount of side effects. It will be important under mounting pressure from Governor Cox and the Weber and Morgan County Health Department, with oversight from you, gentlemen, that you reject the urge to follow Salt Lake County. Please see the attachments I will be providing to you. It has some information about this topic. Oh, and check out page 17 for a very revealing detail about AstraZeneca and the heritage of a company that created the Zyklon B gas used to gas and exterminate 11 million people in Europe, and that they are now in the vaccine business. Did you know that? Also included in this attachment is an excerpt from the book, The Invisible Rainbow, A History of Electricity and Life, that provides some interesting parallels to what we see today regarding this virus and the 1918 Spanish flu with its technological advancement of radio and radar tech. Surely we can see the major electrical advances today being the widespread powerful internet antennas. Interestingly, in late December 2019, North Weber County had 5G antennas go online. And curiously, we had a massive outbreak of respiratory illness before it was revealed in January 2021 that COVID was the alleged culprit. Curious parallel, wouldn't you agree? Anyway, we patriots of Weber County want to thank you for standing strong in the face of pressure from many bureaucratic departments and agencies that are intent on further implementing the Green New Deal, sustainable development, all of these names that are pseudonyms for Agenda 2030. And the Great Reset determined to take over globally. This, we patriots cannot abide. It's not just a national sovereignty issue. It is the fact that the World Economic Forum, with numerous deep state actors and admitted eugenicists, are laying the groundwork of a world without the God of our Bible. And if we can see evil in this world now, just imagine what it will look like when the hand of God is fully lifted from our country and the United States becomes Darth Vader. The death and destruction we will be able to inflict will make 1930s Germany look like a party. This concludes my formal comments, and I'd like to thank you gentlemen again for listening to our comments, mine and my fellow patriots. It's only in shining light on these situations. Oh, stop.
Yeah, you made fun of me last
On
week
these
when mine
situations,
didn't
yeah, I know, right? Shining light on these situations will change for the better to be possible.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Be
Appreciate
blessed.
it.
Okay, so I have a little packet of documents for you guys. No, I'm not folders today.
You're good. Thank you. Are there any others in the audience that would like to address the commission today? Shelley, are there any online? Great, thank you. We'll move off of item number E. Item F is a recognition. Now, before we get to our formalized recognition, commissioners, it's actually fitting today, especially because of our audience, what I'm about to say. You know, right up the street here on Harrison Boulevard, 24th Street's right there. Right up the street on Harrison Boulevard is a park you'll see on 24th and Harrison. And that park, what used to sit there was the D Hospital. It's where I was born. And in 1950, that's where Commissioner Scott Kent Jenkins was born. Wilma Bell and Ryan Kent Jenkins welcomed their second child at the hospital 71 years ago, their first boy. He was the second of 6, and later he went on to marry his lovely wife, Becky, who we love. She's a wonderful person. Scott has served the community throughout his life, and he's lived primarily out in your territory, you Fremont Silver Wolves. He spent his whole life serving out there in various things with the city, whether it's with the Planning Commission. He's been on the city council. He's been a mayor out there. He's also served as a state senator and a great advocate. He loves that area and community that he's from. So I think it fitting today, because it's a Tuesday, because it's a commission meeting, and because he has offspring from many of your neighbors, that we sing happy birthday to Scott Jenkins. And I'm going to ask that's great. And you know, when you're the chair and my birthday happens on a Tuesday, you can get back at me, but I've already checked that. It's not going to happen. So that's too bad. So if you'll join me, here's the pitch. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Commissioner Jenkins. Happy birthday to you. Anything you'd like to say there?
No, that's more than I want.
Wonderful. Commissioners, today we have a proclamation. Super proud of this group. You know, for years, when you wake up and you're really small, you dream of different things. And recently, the Fremont Silver Wolves girls basketball team, in fact, just Friday, played on national TV. And their integrity and their spirit was the winningest thing we'd seen in a long time. You represented our area very well, and we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you. Thank you for being the ladies and women that you are. We really appreciate that. So this proclamation, I'd like to read, Commissioners. It's from the three of us. We've all signed it. You can hang this wherever you choose. This is your honor, your award. And it says, this is the proclamation by the Weber County Commission honoring the Fremont High girls basketball team for an outstanding season. Whereas the Fremont Silver Wolves girls basketball team had an outstanding season, and whereas the Silver Wolves always played honorably with enthusiasm and dedication, and whereas the Silver Wolves won the region's 6A championship with an impressive 26-0 season. And the Silver Wolves girls basketball team represented Fremont High School with incredible honor by winning the 6A state championship. And whereas the Silver Wolves continued to make not only their school but all of Weber County extremely proud by representing Fremont High School at the Geico National Tournament in Florida that was nationally broadcast on ESPNU. Now therefore be it resolved that the Weber County Commission, on behalf of the people of Weber County, do hereby proclaim that the Fremont High School girls basketball team is recognized as champions to all the citizens of Weber County. Dated this the 13th day of April, 2021. That's signed by Commissioner Scott Jenkins, Commissioner Gage Farrar, and Commissioner Jim Harvey. Thank you. Commissioner Jenkins, Commissioner Farrar, I'd like you to go down here, right here in the front, if you would. I will hand to you a basket. We have a really nice shining star keychain with the Weber County embossed logo for each of you. I'll read your names as your name is read. If you'd come on up and get this, and then at the conclusion, would like to take a picture, if you would. So, first, here, let me hand this. I'll just put that right there, Commissioners. Guard Ashley Oliver. Guard Haley Duff. And also Captain. Allie, sorry. Callie Hill. Or is that Katie? Callie. Charlie Calder. Mia Austin. Kaylin Freestone. Alan, thank you. Charlie Hunt. Taylor Doxey. Allie Coombs. Avery Porter. Sierra Eddy. Emma Calvert. Tamea Gardner. Kenna James. Ireland Wilden. And Maggie Mendelson. I forgot to mention that Tamea and Emma and Avery and Hallie are the captains, or are notified as the captains of the team. Now, this team can't do this without their support. And commissioners, let me just read these names, and if you're present in the audience, if you too would come up. The managers, Passion Bowen, Maddie Jensen, Callie Cook, and Stockton Stevenson. Also the strength coach, Austin Black. The athletic director, Corey Mullaney. Athletic trainer, Don Carter. The administration, Michelle Perry, Alicia Mitchell, Jeff Marchett, and Mike Brown. Please. The assistant coaches, Emily Mueller, Mackenzie Burrows, Harley Hansen, and Abigail Broadbent. Crowd. Great team. Give it up for your head coach, Lisa DeLabout.
You guys take some keychains for the girls that weren't here and scoot this way if you wouldn't mind.
Fine.
Okay, stop. Okay, you can stop coming. Let's try to make it kind of even.
Double decker.
Somebody would have to go down on a knee.
Get in this picture. We really do want you in this picture.
How you double deck? Okay.
You all can pull down your masks if you want to. You don't have to. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, we're okay. Get us all in there.
I think so.
Tighten up.
Little bit. There you go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more. Good job. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Take some of those for.
Hold on. Coach DeLabout? Yes. Let's get a picture of tradition with you on this, okay?
That will be awesome.
Shelley?
Thanks, you guys. We appreciate it.
Sure. Sure. Sage? Sandwich again.
We'll take pictures. We'll put them on Facebook. You guys will be famous. Oh, you got it too? Yeah. Do you want to pull your mask down or leave them up? Either way. Thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more. Okay, thank you.
Okay. I got some. Yeah, I got some.
So cool. So cool. Thank you.
That was the neatest thing I've ever seen. Thank you.
Commissioner Jenkins has some comments. I yield the floor to Commissioner Jenkins.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. You know, it's interesting. Back when Fremont was created, I was the mayor that time, and you know, the school district's hard to work with. The school district is hard to work with, and I'm trying to think who the first principal was. Gary, can't remember his last name. Anyway, he was running the committee, and they were going to decide what they were going to name this school and their logos and mascots and all that stuff had to be. Well, anyway, as you go down the Wasatch Front, you see Roy High School and you see Woods Cross High School, Provo High School, and all those. I wanted Plain City High School. I was the mayor out there. And nobody wanted Plain City. They said all these other communities will be there. If you have Plain City High, it's not going to be the same thing. And so I think there was 3 votes for and about 20 against. That's what you call getting rolled. And I did. Anyway, it ended up being Fremont, and they said, well, James Fremont came through this area, and he did. And I said, I'm not sure he walked out in Plain City anywhere, but he did come through here. So anyway, they decided to go with Fremont, and then Silver Wolves. I says, well, what's the difference between a silver wolf, a black wolf, a gray wolf? Silver Wolves, that's what we want. So anyway, it ended up being, and I was okay with that, actually. I liked Silver Wolves. That was good. I was a yes vote for that. But anyway, it was interesting, and you know, I've been a neighbor. I live 1 block from there, and it's been fun over the years to go over and walk the track, and I do that a lot and watch it develop. And people say, "Oh, it'll bother you living that close to a school," and it's an active area, but it's a lot of fun to be close to it because if you're over there and you watch what takes place, it's a lot of fun. I can go to dinner in the evening with my wife, and then I get back about 7 o'clock. Well, then I can go over there and go to the ball game, and by then you get in free because it's halftime. So, so I always watch the second half of all the games. Anyway, it's a lot of fun living next to Fremont, and that's been a good school, and we're really proud of you, and I want you guys to know it. And so thank you very much for all you've done. Oh, you know, I had a granddaughter play on that team till this year. She ended up not playing again this year because she had some health issues. But anyway, so yeah, Fremont's great school. Way to go.
Commissioner Ford, you have any comments?
Yeah, let me just, so Fremont has a long history in a number of sports that have taken state championships. Probably nobody in this room knows or remembers back about 24, 25 years ago, Fremont actually won a state championship in another sport. It's called hockey. And some of those kids are still around. Well, they're not kids anymore, but they were then. But you young ladies can be proud of what you accomplished. We're proud of you. This will be something that you remember for the rest of your life. I still have players that, and I actually coach that team. I have players that still call me or see me and remind me about how great a experience they had in high school because they won a state championship for Fremont. So be proud of what you've done. This will be something that will live on with the rest of your lives. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, commissioners. It feels good out there. And all of you are a part of that. I appreciate that very much. Commissioners, I'm going to move on to item G, like golf on our agenda, which are our consent items. G1 is a request for approval of warrants 3741 through 3760 and 457,912 to 458,048 and number 79 in the amount of $941,241.84. Item 2 is a request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $355,070.88. Item 3 is a request for approval of minutes for the meeting held on April 6th, 2021. Item 4 is a request for the approval of ACH payment in the amount of $161,219.73. Item 5 is a request for approval of the amendment to contract by between Weber County and Sean C. Condy for indigent defense. Item 6 is a request for approval of new business licenses. Item 7, a request for approval of renewal of a lease agreement by and between Weber County Library and Coffee Connoisseur. Those are the items for the consent today, Commissioners. Do either of you have any questions regarding those expenses or items listed under consent items?
Not for me.
I do have questions. Why don't you wait until Ricky's?
Our Clerk Auditor, Ricky Hatch. Go ahead, Mr. Hatch, with some of the detail.
Thank you, Commissioners. And just since we do have a captive audience here, I'll just talk briefly about the process. So Weber County spends a lot of money every week. We pay pretty high dollar amounts, which we'll talk about in just a second. And this is your tax dollars. When you buy a burger, or when you go shopping for groceries, or for especially when your parents pay their property tax, that's what helps fund this, and it goes throughout the county to a variety of items. Anytime we spend money at the county, we have to be very careful about it. It's a public process. We have to seek out for the best prices on items, and it always goes through at least 2 levels of review and approval by the appropriate people before we make the payments. And then as part of that commitment to transparency so that the public knows exactly where their dollars are being spent, we post every check, every purchase order. It's posted online. It's available for anybody to see who we paid, how much we paid them, and what we paid them for. It's just part of the good transparency of government. In addition to that, in this public meeting, we give just a summary, a brief highlight of kind of the higher dollar items that we approve. So with that background, we issued 16 purchase orders this week for $355,000. 58% of that amount, or $207,000, is for the conference center, and that will go towards repairing and renovating the elevators there. 24%, or $84,000, is for the animal shelter, which will purchase a building cooling unit. And then we had 2 items for 6%, or about $21,000. One is for the sheriff, and that will purchase radios for the patrol vehicles, and one for Golden Spike Event Center, which will purchase, go towards heating and air conditioning work, as well as garbage removal services. We issued 158 checks this week for $941,000. Just over half that amount, or $481,000, is for the transfer station, primarily disposal fees, but also we had to purchase tires and fuel for our equipment out there, as well as to replace a scale. 17% of the amount, or $145,000, is for the library, and that went towards remediation for damage sustained in the earthquake. 16%, or $153,000, is for the jail, and that went towards training of officers, as well as building and security upgrades and payment of utilities. And that's my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hatch. Appreciate that. I know Commissioner Jenkins, you had a couple questions.
Yeah, first of all, on the very first item under select benefits, we have $11,235.70. I have brackets around it. That means it's a credit. You happen to know what that's all about? It's unusual that you have a credit on the bill statement.
Yeah, it is unusual. I remember seeing that. I don't have details. I'll look at that and get back to you.
I'm not worried too much. It's just unusual, and that's the only thing I wanted to check.
Yep.
Second thing is on our PO report. First of all, $198,000 for the repair of the elevator. Is that in their budget?
That's, was that for the conference center?
Yeah.
Conference center.
It's CIP. It's CIP money, capital improvement money, and that's actually coming in under what we have, and it's for 2 elevators. One is for the passenger elevator. They also are doing the small freight elevator.
Oh. We had our meeting this morning, and the elevator was mentioned, but it wasn't mentioned that there was going to be.
That was for the WEBER Center.
Oh,
So
that
we have the
was
freight
for the
elevator
Weber
here
Center.
and freight elevator there.
So once again, is that in your budget?
Yes,
So you have money put aside to do this?
yes.
Okay. Second question is, the animal cooling unit for $83,000. Those are swamp coolers. That's It's an awful lot for a swamp cooler. Do we know anything about that?
You know about that, Commissioner?
I don't. I hadn't heard.
I can ask Bryce about that. I don't know.
Property manager.
That'd be through.
Was that in their budget?
It must have been in their budget.
You know, Commissioner, I'm going to jump in here. I believe remembering hearing in our budget sessions last fall, the sheriff's office brought that in under animal services. That was something they wanted to do.
I just wasn't sure we budgeted for that.
They would have been in there within their budget.
Yeah,
I understand.
we did have that discussion in budget hearings.
We did have that. I just don't remember putting that in. That's okay. I'll vote for it, and I'll check on it later. This is the time you ask those questions, right?
Thank you. And I'll entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion that we approve the
Consent items.
consent items, yes, sir.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second, great. I'll place that motion for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Item number H, like Harvey, just in case, we're going to try to change the phonetic alphabet, just in case you want to know. Item A, an action item, Miss Cassie Bybee, she's our executive director of the Ogden Eccles Conference Center and Perry's Egyptian Theater. This is a request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Mari Tarbox for the services as Ogden Musical Theater's artistic director for the 2021 season. Boy, am I glad to see you bring this one back. Mari's a rock star.
Yes, she is. And that was a very wise choice by the commission. This is her 5th year as artistic director with Ogden Musical Theater. And she's definitely been a pivotal point in being able to get us not only the production teams, the quality of production teams that we have that are putting on the shows, that are helping to build the performances and things, but also to help draw on the caliber of actors that come and audition. So we're thrilled to have her continue to be a part of it. She keeps talking about maybe someday she's going to retire, but I say absolutely no.
Commissioner's question for Ms. Bybee regarding this contract? Sorry, just a point of privilege, if I may. Gals, many of you say, I don't know what I can do in the world or how I can help. I'm just from a little small town in Weber County. What little I know about Miss Tarbox is she grew up in a little place called Bothwell, which is north of here up in Box Elder County, years ago. And she did well. She excelled. She didn't ever play on national TV in high school, but she would play in national circles from New York City in the theater arts program later in her life. Mm-hmm. She and her husband, Norm, have come back. He's the vice president at Weber State University now, and she's always giving back to the community, which is helping thousands and thousands of people in the thespian world. And now mm-hmm. with the Kids Act Up program, they're doing, you have summer camps for baseball or soccer or football or whatever. We have summer camps for theater for the youth, and it's absolutely wonderful, and we wonderful here in Weber County. So Mari's a fantastic, just another fantastic person that lives in our community. So commissioners, with that, thank you for that privilege. I'll entertain a motion for item number 1, H1, please.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Place the item for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item I, India. Thank you, Ms. Bybee. Item I, India is commissioner comments. Commissioner Frohr, Commissioner Jenkins, any comments?
Not for me.
Not me either.
Okay, great. I'll entertain a motion for item J.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourned. Thank you. Just like that.